Hi, welcome. In this video, I have Christian's down with Hildegard for a visit, for some training. So he's here, and so I have Brody here. So I'm going to be bringing Brody out here in just a moment for some socialization exercise. And so in this video here, we're going to be moving back and forth. I'm going to be over on this side with Brody. Christian's going to be over there with Hildegard on that side. And so this is a setup to start to introduce dogs. So if you're dealing with a reactive dog, you want to definitely, one of the dogs should be in a pretty good place in terms of relationship. Shouldn't be reactive also. You should have one dog that's somewhat balanced or perceptions have changed at a really good level. And so and the dog that needs help, you're working off of a balanced dog. So here, I'm going to be over here with Brody, and we're going to be just kind of moving back and forth a little bit. And so for this exercise here, we're not going to get super close. This is just about starting to kind of a pre-warm-up exercise. But we're going to be turning and moving a certain way so that the dogs, if they want to try to fixate, they're going to be trying to turn. So if I have, say, for Brody, this is the first time I'm going to be exposing Brody to this type of exercise, I'll be over here. And so if Brody is really trying to really fixate, which I expect that he will, I'll be more kind of really turned towards that direction in a big way. I'm going to be just maintaining, and so therefore that means that Brody has to try to turn his body. It gives me a better picture as to what the level of investment that he's at, and I'm able to work his mind at the same time to get him to relax. And then once he starts to relax, then I can start to angle a little bit, start to turn. Because the focus is going to be on here as we do this exercise is for the dogs to get closer and closer and closer until they're actually almost touching. And so when we do the exercise, I'm going to be using the muzzle for Hildegard. Hildegard still is a little reactive, so we just want to use this exercise to kind of test the waters here to get super close. And here you see Hildegard is pretty calmed out. I mean, she knows that Brody's on the other side. So, but we'll see how this goes. It's a great opportunity. So great type of exercise. I'm going to grab Brody, and we're going to do this exercise here in just a moment. So again, as soon as I bring Brody out, I'm immediately going to start to move this way. And so here the focus is on getting Brody to relax in the opposite direction here. You'll hear noises and movement and stuff. That's great because I want him to begin to just calm out. So as I do this exercise, I'm continuing to have the right conversation through intentional control. So just tight enough here so I have a baseline on him so I can intercept moments where he's trying to turn his head, trying to get little looks in. Because the expectation is I want him to be looking this way. Because again, I want him to everything to come through me. Okay, so here same thing. So right there, I apply just a little bit to intercept. And then his eyes turn back to me, I take a little bit off. So understand there's always a little give and take. So, when I'm working off a baseline, so he starts to look over, I apply just enough pressure to intercept. And then once his head swivels in, and it's swiveling in not because I'm moving the leash this way, it's because of the effect that influence is having on his state of mind, okay? So he turns in, I just take a little bit off, but I still maintain this level of baseline for what is needed based on the current relationship. So that baseline is going to be here. So I'm going to move over this way a little bit, angle. So kind of tempting him a little bit by turning certain moments here, but I'm still keeping an angle on him. He's protesting a little bit. Because this is something where, especially when you have a dog that's used to being able to go over. Now, it's not to say if I took him off the leash right now, he might rush over and nothing bad happen per se, but this is about control. This is about everything coming through. You being the pivot point as a dog owner. So as a service dog, especially for Brody's training, if he encounters other dogs, he needs to stay focused on his own. Okay, so this is part of the training for that. And for Christian, he's just doing his own thing here as on that side as we do this. Same thing as he's doing that, he's kind of just assessing how fixated Hildegard is. So here I'm going to apply a down here, down pressure here to do this. So that wasn't a growl, that was just a little protest. So here, same thing. So when you put a dog in a down, this type of thing, looking at body posture, how stiff the dog's body is. You see there's quite a bit of stiffnesses. That's just the level of tension on Brody right now. That starts to release over time as you start to, you know, again, interact. So just letting him kind of, you know, flatten out here a little bit for a second. But even when he's into a down like this, I still have that baseline, so I can still intercept even in the down position, okay? So I've been to this before, it's just not about a down that way. It's still about relationship. So a dog can be in a down and still have a moment of aggression. So don't ever look at a down as kind of assessing how a dog is that way, okay? It's about the mind too, it's mind and body. So, you know, don't focus on just using a treat to get a dog to go into a down thinking that that's great. It may not be great at all. It's about seeing how I'm doing control and influence part of the equation. So sit, so bring him up to a sit, apply just enough pressure I want his legs to move. So I have, see, now his legs move. Now when you see legs not moving or stiffness, that's because the mind's affected, okay? So same thing but you want just enough control because you want the mind to engage. So when I'm applying some control to get Brody up into a sit, you know, I just want enough to do want to generate that to the body. So now I'm going to turn here, I'm just going to walk around a little bit. I'm going to end this here in a second. I just want to work him for another minute because he definitely needs this type of. So I'm going to get over here just a little closer. That's right, pressure, steady pressure, Christian, right there, there you go. So you're going to come around, Christian, with the same thing, just as Hildegard starts, the eyes start to slide, I'll start applying a little bit more pressure to get her to disengage. Because right there you see her holding that look, right? So I'm going to come around again. Now I come around closer to you, start to apply a little more pressure just as she's thinking about or sensing that we're closer. Right now, pressure, pressure, pressure. I'll do that again here in a moment. Try to keep that baseline a little bit, more secure in the baseline. Go around a second. So you let me know when I can come in. Okay. Focus on the baseline. Pressure right now, pressure, pressure. Pressure a little bit more steady, pressure, pressure. See that better? See that? Cause a little bit of reaction. That's good though. Do again, pressure right there, there we go. That's what you want, that inwardness. Just a little tighter than that, just a little bit tighter than that. Because you want her to get used to a certain level of that baseline, because you know it's